Have you ever left a room full of people feeling more tired than after a long day of work? Not physically tired, mentally empty, like something inside you was quietly drained. That feeling isn't weakness. It's not antisocial behavior. It's psychology, and it's more common than you think. Most people assume energy is lost through action, movement, work, effort, but psychological energy is lost through processing. And being around people forces your brain to process constantly, every second, without rest. When you're around people, your mind doesn't just hear words. It reads tone, facial expressions, body language, hidden intentions, emotional shifts. Your brain becomes a radar, scanning nonstop. That constant scanning is exhausting. Some minds are wired to filter this noise easily. Others are not. If you drain quickly, it means your brain processes more information than average. You notice what others ignore. Micro-expressions, subtle tension, unspoken emotions. Awareness has a cost. Social environments demand performance, even when no one asks for it. You regulate your tone, your expressions, your reactions, your honesty. That self-monitoring consumes mental energy. Silence doesn't require that. Solitude doesn't demand performance. Your nervous system wasn't designed for constant social stimulation. Historically, humans lived in small, familiar groups, predictable behaviors, stable emotional patterns. Modern social life is fragmented, fast, and unpredictable. Your brain treats unpredictability as a mild threat. Threat responses drain energy quickly. This is why small talk feels especially exhausting. It has low meaning but high processing cost. Your mind searches for depth, connection, truth, but instead, it receives surface signals. The mismatch creates friction, and friction drains energy. If you're naturally introspective, your energy is generated inward. Reflection restores you. Thinking restores you. Stillness restores you. People interrupt that internal rhythm, not because they're bad, but because your mind works differently. Externally focused environments pull you out of alignment. Being around people also activates your empathy. Even if you don't realize it, you absorb moods, stress, anxiety, insecurity. Your nervous system mirrors others automatically. If the room is emotionally noisy, your mind pays the price. This is why crowded places feel overwhelming. Too many emotional signals at once. Too many expressions to read. Too many social rules to track. Your brain doesn't shut off. It accelerates. And acceleration without purpose feels like exhaustion. You may have noticed that you don't get drained by everyone. Only certain people. That's not random. Some individuals require more emotional management, more filtering, more self-control around them. Your body remembers this, and it reacts accordingly. People who talk without depth drain you faster, not because they're boring, but because your mind searches for meaning automatically. When meaning isn't there, your brain keeps digging. Unrewarded effort is tiring. Depth energizes you. Shallowness depletes you. There's also the cost of identity maintenance. Around people, you're never fully neutral. You're someone's friend, someone's listener, someone's support, someone's audience. Each role requires adjustment. Adjustment consumes energy. Silence feels powerful to you because it removes roles. No performance, no emotional translation, no social calibration. Your nervous system finally relaxes. Energy returns, not because you escaped people, but because you return to yourself. Highly aware people often confuse social fatigue with social failure. They think something is wrong with them, that they're broken, that they should be more outgoing. But the truth is simpler. Your mind operates at high resolution. High-resolution systems overheat faster. Your brain doesn't like unresolved emotional data, and social interactions are full of it. Unfinished conversations, unspoken tensions, half-truths, politeness masks. Your mind stores all of this unconsciously. Storage without processing drains energy. This is why you replay conversations later. Analyze what was said, what wasn't, what was meant. That delayed processing costs energy too. Social time doesn't end when people leave. It continues inside your head. People who drain quickly often have strong internal worlds, thoughts, ideas, questions. When social environments interrupt that flow, it feels like mental whiplash. Your mind prefers depth over interruption, focus over fragmentation. People fragment attention. You don't dislike people. You dislike constant stimulation without purpose, without meaning, without alignment. Your system is selective, and modern social life isn't designed for selectivity. It's designed for noise. This is also why digital socializing drains you. Notifications, messages, endless availability. Your brain never gets closure. Every interaction remains open-ended. Open loops exhaust the nervous system. Being around people forces emotional regulation. You suppress certain thoughts, tone down honesty, adjust reactions. That self-control is expensive. Solitude gives your mind permission to relax, and relaxation restores energy faster than sleep. Some people recharge by talking. You recharge by thinking. That difference is fundamental. Neither is better, but pretending you're wired the same causes burnout. When you honor your design, energy stabilizes. When you fight it, exhaustion follows. Your body gives signals before your mind understands. Tight chest, mental fog, irritation, desire to escape. These aren't flaws. They're feedback. Your system is asking for reduced input. You may also notice that one-on-one conversations feel easier, more focused, more meaningful, less draining. That's because depth replaces noise. Clarity replaces chaos. Your mind relaxes when information has structure. Large groups dilute meaning. Attention fragments. Energy scatters. Your brain works harder to stay grounded. Harder work means faster depletion. It's not introversion. It's efficiency. Another hidden drain is expectation. People expect responses, engagement, agreement, reaction. Your brain anticipates these demands subconsciously. Anticipation itself costs energy. Silence removes expectation entirely. When you're alone, your mind returns to baseline. No social noise, no emotional mirroring, no role-playing, just internal coherence. Energy flows when coherence is restored. That's why solitude feels like relief. This doesn't mean isolation is the solution. Avoidance isn't health, but intentional solitude is regulation. The goal isn't to disappear from people. It's to engage selectively, consciously, on your terms. You drain fast because you care deeply about meaning, about truth, about authenticity. Superficial environments violate that value, and value violations cost energy. Your fatigue is value-based. Some people survive on stimulation. You survive on clarity. Too much stimulation feels like static. Clarity feels like oxygen. People-heavy environments reduce oxygen. Silence restores it. That's why you breathe easier alone. You're not antisocial. You're socially selective. Your energy has boundaries, and boundaries protect depth. Without them, your mind fragments. Fragmentation feels like exhaustion. Protection feels like peace. Your brain also resists emotional dishonesty, forced positivity, fake agreement, social masks. Holding these masks up drains energy quickly. Authenticity restores it, and authenticity is easier in solitude. When you understand this, guilt disappears. You stop forcing social exposure. You stop apologizing for needing space. You stop labeling yourself as broken. Energy stabilizes when shame leaves. Understanding replaces self-criticism. That shift alone is restorative. The real issue isn't people. It's unfiltered access. Too many interactions. Too little recovery. Your nervous system needs rhythm. Engagement followed by withdrawal. Not constant connection. You don't need more energy. You need better energy management. Fewer interactions with higher meaning. Less noise. More intention. Quality restores what quantity destroys. This is psychological efficiency. When you respect your limits, people feel you more clearly. Your presence sharpens. Your attention deepens. Your words carry weight. Energy conserved becomes power expressed. Drain turns into focus. Focus turns into impact. Being drained isn't a flaw. It's a signal. Your mind is telling you how it works. Listen instead of resisting. Design your life around recovery, not constant exposure. That's how sustainable energy is built. You were never meant to be available all the time. Constant availability equals constant depletion. Distance creates depth. Rest creates clarity. Clarity creates strength. People who honor this thrive quietly, without burnout. The most grounded people protect their solitude fiercely, not because they hate others, but because they understand cost. Energy spent carelessly is energy lost permanently. Energy spent intentionally multiplies. That's psychological wisdom, and it's learned through exhaustion. If being around people drains you fast, it's because your mind works deeply. Your nervous system is sensitive. Your awareness is high, and high-functioning systems need recovery. Honor that, and exhaustion turns into balance. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to structure your interactions. Less noise, more meaning, less performance, more presence. That's where energy returns. When you stop forcing social endurance, your confidence increases, your clarity sharpens, your emotional regulation improves, energy stops leaking, and you finally feel like yourself again. Not drained, but grounded. People who understand this don't disappear. They choose carefully. They show up intentionally. And when they do, their presence feels real, because it's not forced, it's focused. Exhaustion was never the enemy. Misunderstanding was. Once you understand your wiring, everything changes. Your boundaries stop feeling selfish. Your solitude stops feeling lonely. And your energy finally makes sense. Being around people drains you because you're paying attention. And attention is expensive. But it's also valuable. Use it wisely. Protect it carefully. And invest it where it matters. That's how depth survives in a noisy world. When you honor your limits, you don't shrink. You sharpen. You don't isolate. You integrate. Your energy stops fighting the world and starts flowing through it, calmly, precisely. The goal isn't to avoid people. It's to avoid overload. You're allowed to choose environments that nourish you, conversations that stimulate you, silence that restores you. That choice isn't weakness. It's intelligence. You don't need permission to step back. Your body already asked. Your mind already warned you. Fatigue was the message. Understanding is the solution. And alignment is the reward. Energy returns when resistance ends. When you stop fighting your nature, people stop draining you as much. Because you stop overextending. You stop compensating. You stop performing. And you start choosing. Choice restores power. So if being around people drains you fast, it's not because you're weak. It's because you're aware. And awareness requires space. Protect that space. Because inside it, your energy isn't lost, it's rebuilt. Once you understand this, you stop forcing yourself to stay longer than your energy allows. You leave earlier without guilt. You pause conversations without apology. Your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, because you're no longer betraying your nervous system. Respect replaces resistance. People who drain fast often think they lack stamina. But stamina isn't the issue. It's mismatch. Your system isn't built for constant exposure. It's built for depth followed by recovery. Ignoring that rhythm leads to burnout. Honoring it leads to balance. You might notice your creativity increases after time alone. Ideas flow. Connections form. Insights appear. That's because energy was conserved instead of spent. Your mind finally had room to breathe. And breathing fuels thought. Social exhaustion also comes from emotional responsibility. You feel responsible for moods, comfort, harmony. You subtly manage the emotional temperature of the room. That invisible labor drains energy fast, especially when no one notices it. Some people are emotional broadcasters. Others are emotional receivers. Receivers absorb more than they emit, and absorption without release leads to overload. Solitude acts as a release valve. It resets your emotional baseline. Without it, pressure builds. This is why your energy crashes suddenly, not gradually. You seem fine until you're not. That's accumulation. Your system stores stress silently, then shuts down to protect itself. Fatigue is protection, not failure. You may also struggle with environments that feel inauthentic. Forced laughter, polite dishonesty, social scripts. Your mind resists playing roles that feel untrue. Resistance costs energy. Authenticity restores it. Highly perceptive people often feel drained without knowing why. Because perception happens automatically. You don't choose to notice. You just do. Your brain never fully relaxes in company, unless it feels safe. Safety determines energy. You might notice you're energized by people who are grounded, calm, present, emotionally regulated. These interactions cost less energy, because your nervous system doesn't stay on alert. Peace is efficient. Your exhaustion isn't random. It's selective. Certain people, certain environments, certain conversations, patterns exist, and patterns reveal design. Your body already knows what your mind is learning. Once you accept this, your social life becomes intentional, smaller, deeper, cleaner. You stop chasing connection everywhere and start cultivating it where it fits. That shift alone restores energy. You don't need to explain yourself to everyone. Explanation costs energy too. Boundaries work best when they're quiet, simple, consistent. Your nervous system relaxes when boundaries exist because it feels protected. You might notice people misunderstand your need for space. They call it distance, coldness, withdrawal. But misunderstanding doesn't mean you're wrong. It means your wiring is uncommon, and uncommon things are often mislabeled. Energy-sensitive people often mature earlier because exhaustion teaches discernment. You learn where not to go, who not to overinvest in, what drains you unnecessarily. Wisdom forms under pressure. Fatigue is a teacher. Your ideal environment isn't empty. It's balanced. Enough connection to feel alive. Enough solitude to stay clear. Too much of either creates imbalance. You're learning to calibrate, not escape. When you stop judging your fatigue, it lessens. Shame intensifies exhaustion. Acceptance softens it. Your system relaxes when it's understood. Understanding is calming. Resistance is draining. Compassion restores energy quietly. People who respect their energy often appear confident, not loud, not dominant, but grounded, because they're not leaking attention everywhere. Conservation creates presence. Presence creates impact. Your energy improves when you stop over-explaining, over-performing, over-listening, over-giving. You're not required to absorb everything. Selectivity is health, not selfishness. Being drained by people doesn't mean you should isolate forever. It means you should design better interactions. Shorter, deeper, more honest, less frequent, more meaningful. Quality regulates energy better than quantity. Some of your exhaustion comes from pretending you're okay when you're not. That internal split costs energy. Alignment restores it. When behavior matches truth, tension dissolves, and tension is the true energy drain. Honesty is lighter than performance. Always. You don't need to become more social. You need to become more selective. Your nervous system isn't asking for isolation. It's asking for respect. Respect for its limits. Respect for its rhythm. Respect restores vitality. When you stop forcing social endurance, your relationships improve because you show up fresh, present, clear, not depleted. People feel the difference. Energy conserved becomes quality shared. Being drained by people isn't a flaw to fix. It's information to use. Your body is telling you how to live sustainably. Listen, adjust, choose wisely, and you'll find that your energy doesn't disappear. It finally stays with you.